Hi, everybody. Dennis Prager with Mr. Tubbs. Some of you may not know Mr. Tubbs. He's our newest addition. He, too, is a bulldog. Nothing could replace Otto, but Mr. Tubbs is a winner. We got the name, actually, from the people who bred him in Pennsylvania in Mennonite country. It was hard to find, and we found Mr. Tubbs. They gave him the name because his dad was Mr. Chubbs. And we fell in love with the name, Mr. Tubbs. So here he is, and hopefully you will be seeing him next to me for many, many years at Fireside Chats. This is chat number 291. We are 300 minus 9. I think that's a big deal, you know? I'm very excited about that. So today begins LGBTQIA plus Pride Month. Is that right? Pride Month? Oh, wow, a whole month. So a few words about this. I don't understand. No, I take that back. It's actually not a meaningful phrase. That's better. I do understand why it's being done, and I'll explain my explanation momentarily. But let me talk to you for a moment about the notion of group pride. What does that mean? And it's never been clear to me. I wrote a column on this. I hope you'll look it up. I wrote it last week, and it's available on my website and many others: Daily Wire, American Greatness, PJ Media, Town Hall. And it's my weekly column, and I wrote it about this notion. So I tell the story that when I was bar mitzvah, so meaning, of course, when I was 13, I got a gift. One of the gifts was, I got many gifts. One of the gifts was a book called something to the effect, Great Jews in Sports. And I also remember this, which is very interesting given how deeply Jewish my upbringing was. I went to religious Jewish school every day called a yeshiva. I went to a Jewish camp. My family was Jewish. My friends were Jewish. And I lived in a Jewish Italian neighborhood in Brooklyn, New York. But I didn't relate to the book. I thought, what difference does it make to me whether there were great Jews in sports? And that's an odd reaction because obviously the person who gave it to me thought it would be a meaningful gift. But I realized later that I never had in me groupthink. I believed in the great American ideal of the individual is sacrosanct. The group is important, but that I don't believe in groupthink. Let me make something clear. There are only two groups, the decent and the indecent. I don't divide the world between straight and gay, between Jew and non-Jew, between American and non-American, between black and white. I only divide it between the decent and the indecent, and it's not my phrase. A Jew who went through the Holocaust, and who is, of course, since passed, of course I say because the Holocaust was a long time ago, name was Viktor Frankel, F-R-A-N-K-L. He wrote a book about his experiences in a Nazi concentration camp. He was an Austrian Jewish psychoanalyst. He wrote a book that is one of the 10 books that most, in fact, one of the 5 books. After the Bible, it's up there with the book that has most influenced me. It's a very short book. I read it in high school, Man's Search for Meaning. It's a very famous book. It's a classic. Relatives of his, I think his wife, his beloved wife, was murdered by the Nazis. And he was asked after the war the following question: do you hate the German race? That's the way they put it in those days. Today they would say the Germans or the German nation. Do you hate the German race? And his answer in his book was no. There are only 2 races, the decent and the indecent. If I had to give a motto of my life, that is my motto. That is how I divide the world. I don't care if you're black. I don't care if you're gay. I don't care if you're Christian. I don't care if you're a Jew. I don't care about anything. like I care about, are you a good person? By the way, it's not easy to be a good person. It's the greatest achievement you can acquire. I wish there was a Goodness Pride Month in America. We have all these groups, but what is the pride? I don't even understand it. Let us say you're black. You have black pride, but you didn't do anything. You were born black. You have white pride. Of course, you have white pride. You're considered evil. But whatever your group, let's say you're gay. What is the pride? I mean, answer me in a rational manner. The whole point of gay liberation was that a person doesn't really have a choice. Okay, so I bought that. I understand that. So how could you have pride in something you didn't choose? It's like, so I'm tall. I'm 6'4". Do I have tall pride? No, I did nothing to earn it. That's my genetic makeup, is to be tall. I'm not proud of it. It's the whole thing. It must mean something else, and I'll tell you what it means. The real meaning of all of this is that the society must celebrate lesbians, gays, bisexuals, and transgendered and queer, etc. Not just tolerate. That's the liberal idea. The left-wing idea is you must celebrate. But I don't celebrate. I don't celebrate men who transition to women or women who transition to men. I accept the fact that they wish to do so. I understand that. I will treat them as another creature. Wow. I think he needs another Chewy. Oh, no, he doesn't. He's somewhat of a live wire, our Mr. Tubbs, I gotta say. Anyway, also, he could be reacting to what I said. There's no way of really knowing. This is very serious sound effects, I must say. Okay, feller. Yes, sir. Okay, don't eat it so fast and you won't choke. All right. What is going on here is, and it's imposing on society that you must celebrate all of these things. There's a big difference between treating people decently, which is a moral demand. I totally assent to it, but I'm not prepared to celebrate it. I think it's a tragedy if you're a male who thinks you're a female, or you're a female who thinks you're a male. It's a tragedy. Doesn't mean we don't love you. It doesn't mean we mistreat you, but I don't celebrate it. Who would deny that it is best to be comfortable with the sex that you are? I mean, we're being asked to affirm something that isn't true. If you're a male, you're a male. If you identify as a female and you present as a female, you look like a female, you have a female name, you dress like a female, and you don't have a beard, you present female, then I'm assuming you're a female, and I'll call you ma'am if you're my waitress. I understand that. But I'm not going to celebrate it, especially with young people. You're 8 years old and you say you're the other sex. You're 12 years old, you say you're the other sex. You're 17 or 18 and you have your breasts cut off because you think you're a boy. And I'm supposed to celebrate that? We're supposed to have a pride day for your breasts having been removed? So I'm sorry, I don't join the Pride Month. By the way, I don't want any Pride Months. I don't want a Jewish Pride Month. I don't want a Black Pride Month. I don't want a Hispanic Pride Month. I don't believe in it. As I said, the only division that matters is the character division. Are you decent or indecent? But there is no moral quality to this. And by the way, it's not even true. Those who celebrate blacks for Black Pride Month or whatever, or Black History Month, they don't celebrate black conservatives. So it's not even true. It's the whole thing is just a promotion of left-wing values. Because if you don't share a left-wing value, you're not a feminist. Gloria Steinem, one of the best-known feminists of the last 50 years, said that a female senator from Texas who was conservative, Kay Bailey Hutchinson, she said what would she say? Something to the effect of she's a pretend woman because she was conservative. She wasn't really a woman. Didn't Larry Elder get that? Larry Elder was called by a Los Angeles Times columnist the black face of white supremacy. So it's not even black pride. It's black liberals or black leftists' pride. Do they celebrate gay conservatives in LGBTQIA Pride Month? Of course not. They hate Dave Rubin. So anyway, so much for the pride stuff. I think that all of it should be abolished. I celebrate good people, period. That's the only division that matters. In light of the subject, I'd like you to know that PragerU is releasing, or has released, in fact, Unwoke Inc. It is about what has happened in the corporate world that has embraced the truly woke policies of the left and why they have done it. It's an important short documentary. Please watch it at PragerU.com or through the Prager app. So before I continue with the Fireside Chat, I'd like to remind you that the way to watch the entire Fireside Chat, and I promise you it's worth it, is simply to go to PragerU.com, or the easiest is download the PragerU app and listen to the whole Fireside Chat through PragerU. The reason we're doing this is that we fear that one day YouTube may simply say, we won't allow you any longer to be on YouTube. And so we are trying to drive as much people to go directly to PragerU. So thanks, and I continue.